Here is the prosecution statement for Field Place in Worthing. The incident board's data was quite interesting in the respect that there was many consistencies through it. One of the names that came over several times on the incident board for Field Place May 2012 was the name Benjamin. This featured in 4 different posts from different groups on different locations. Another good consistency throughout the board was the name Edith. Now, not only did Edith come up a few times on the night of in May, but she also came up several times on the original investigation a year earlier. The psychic art was also quite interesting on both of the investigations. On the first investigation, there was 2 pieces of psychic art which looked like a similar person or the same person, drawn from a different perspective. In other words, a front profile and a slightly to the side profile. On the second investigation, there was also 2 pieces of art which are fairly consistent. One of these pieces of art was drawn by Debbie Dean, and the other was drawn by Dizzy, who was one of the participants on the night. From the Iovilus data, there was plenty of activity, if you like, or information coming through on the Iovilus machine. When we pulled all the data together to try and make some kind of sentences or sense from it, we can't achieve that, even though the file is live for you to see on the internet. You can see what it said. Although the participants on the night were using it as a communication device. CCTV, for all of the footage, there was one instance where there was a shadow that moved across the wall, as there was an incident happening within that room at the time. Unfortunately, I can't tell you what cast that shadow because of the angle of the camera. As we move on to witness testimony, there was 2 separate people that witnessed the same event, and they both said that they witnessed a man which appeared like a shimmering reflection in water. They said they saw this man pacing around in the oak room. And another incident from another witness in the same location said that she saw a woman standing in the doorway just looking in, didn't really think much of it until the woman disappeared or wasn't there later on. We did cover that doorway with CCTV, and on reviewing the CCTV there isn't any footage of a woman peering through as she was described, unfortunately. But again, it's a nice piece of witness testimony that says that this lady clearly felt that she saw at that time a woman peering through the door. However, I think one of the most compelling pieces of evidence from Field Place was the EVP captures. What we have here is hours and hours of audio we've captured, and we've been through the whole lot and really done a deep analysis of it. And what we have found is that there is 14 examples of EVP. There is 2 potential Class A EVPs, which is where you can hear syllables and words and recognise those words. An example of that would be one of the participants asked, what was your weekly wage? Which is a great question, because not only does it identify the type of currency that's being used if you get a response, but it also gives the amount of currency that potentially was being paid, which can give you a date, which is quite a fascinating thing. Anyway, I think we got a good response from that. I feel that it said pound and shilling. However, the next piece of EVP was, someone said, are you a military person? And the response definitely says something about military. In my view, it says something about military. Another piece of evidence was the amount of environmental things that were going on. Lots of people reported some of the sensation of being cold or the temperature changing in a room. Unfortunately, we've reviewed this data from our instruments that were placed in all throughout Field Place, and the temperature remains consistent. So we can't see any plus or minus there, but people definitely sense that. So in light of all the evidence that presented, the EVPs, the sightings, the witness testimony, the psychic art, the consistency on the incident board, I think that there is a good data capture from this investigation. And I potentially would like to say to you, there is enough there, with all the strands of evidence put together as one overall thing, to convict Field Place of being haunted.